we're doing multiple searches and that we're utilizing our partners at the FBI that have some really, great equipment, training, experienced people, all of those things. We're coming at this investigation with from every angle and with everything that we have access to.
We have not been able to locate the child as of yet.
We want answers! We want answers!
Where is Melodee Buzzard? The search intensifies for the missing 9-year-old as police are investigating her mother's home. And Barry Morphew back in court today. The accused wife killer out on bail, all thanks to his supporters. We're asking, will his daughters be called to testify? Also this hour, a forensic psychologist on the show explaining how the 6-year-old who shot his teacher should have been tested for psychopathy even at his young age. Plus, we have new release restrictions for the former cheerleader whose newborn was allegedly found dead in a closet. So will this tip the scales of justice in the case against Lake and Snelling? It's all coming up next for you right here on Opening Statements. Good Monday morning to you, my friends. Welcome to Opening Statements. I'm Julie Grant. I hope you had a great Halloween weekend. We sure missed you here, and we put together a great show for you. So let's get it started. Grab that cup of coffee. It's time for my opening statement. Tick-tock. It is only a matter of time before Ashley Buzzard is behind bars, behaving like she doesn't have a care in the world, with nothing helpful to say to federal and state investigators who are working tirelessly to find her missing daughter, tells me everything I need to know. If your child was missing, God forbid, you would go to the ends of the earth to find your baby. Here, this rotten, sorry excuse for a mother is actually pulling down the missing posters of her daughter, Melodee. Why? That makes about as much sense as a screen door on a submarine. Unless she had something to do with Melodee's disappearance. We know that she was the last person to see Melodee alive. At that time, her 9-year-old was wearing a disguise. Why? She then left California with Melodee, driving her all the way to Nebraska, but returns home without her. Why? Sounds like she did something to me. At the very least, right now, she is endangering the welfare of her daughter and obstructing justice. So make no mistake about it, legally, she can be arrested last week for those crimes. But investigators seem to want to keep her out of the jail. And they hopefully will have that strategic decision helping them in the long run in the case. But my friends, I'm still of the opinion that she should have been cuffed already. And I hope and I pray that beautiful Melodee is alive and will be rescued and brought home. That's my opening statement on this Monday morning. Let me know if you like it. Right now, it's time for your daily docket.
How many times was she shot? How many gunshots did you hear? One.
We were quite taken aback. We didn't expect to see so young a suspect.
Abby's hand is never going to be a normal hand. It's not going to be like her other side, but we've got it pretty darn close.
Do you see that same light, that same color in Abby that you used to see?
No.
In Virginia, the civil trial for the teacher who was shot by a 6-year-old student resumes this morning, and we will see if the defense chooses to put on a case. Court gets underway 9 a.m. Eastern time. We're going to go there together live when it does. In California, we've got the sentencing for Jake Haro expected to happen today at 11:30 a.m. Eastern time. Remember this guy? He pleaded guilty to murdering his 7-month-old baby, Emmanuel. Baby Emmanuel's remains still haven't been located. CourtTV is on the ground in California, and we're going to bring you that hearing live. In Colorado, we've got defendant Barry Morphew with a status conference today at 3:30 p.m. Eastern time. This guy is accused of murdering his wife, Suzanne. We're going to talk more about what we can expect to happen today coming up later on this program. But right now, we turn to our top story for you, and that is, where is Melodee Buzzard? Her mom, Ashley, last seen with law enforcement last week as they searched her home. They also searched the rental car that she used to drive Melodee to Nebraska. Remember that car? Yes, she came home without her in that car. We know that. And investigators also searched a storage locker.
We're doing multiple searches and that we're utilizing our partners at the FBI that have some really, great equipment, training, experienced people, all of those things. We're coming at this investigation with from every angle and with everything that we have access to.
Police say they're focusing on a 3-day period between October the 7th and October the 10th, where the 9-year-old was last seen on surveillance footage wearing a wig. Look at this photo. This is at the rental car agency, and this is the last photograph of Melodee where we can verify she was, in fact, alive on October the 7th. So this is right when they got the car to take that trip to Nebraska. So how can investigators find Melodee and bring her home? Those are the questions we want to get some answers to. Let's bring in our law enforcement experts guest to help us do that. Let's bring in former FBI Special Agent Jennifer Coffindaffer and retired police lieutenant and former commander of the K-9 unit in Nassau County, Mike Gould. Good morning to you both. All right, Jennifer, let me start with you. So when we think about how they can bring Melodee home, I would love for you to weigh in. What do you think ought to be happening right now in this investigation, please?
Well, I think the #1 way is following that digital footprint across the country. Look, we have a vehicle that is a late model vehicle that will have some GPS information in it. There's already information that she's been sighted at multiple locations on the outbound trip. And so all of those locations and where she was seen, what route they took, gas stops, food stops, all of that is going to be found. And the FBI has a cadre of hundreds of analysts that are looking this over, and they're going to be the key, I think, to figuring out where that last stop was in Nebraska.
Oh, great insight, Jen. Thank you for that. Lieutenant Gould, you're also a K-9 expert. Are we calling in the dogs on this one?
We will eventually, sadly. Obviously, this is obviously foul play when a mother doesn't or is uncooperative. I mean, that is a huge red flag. Of course, I agree with Jennifer. Technology, toll, license plate readers, GPS, cell phone pings. This is all going to locate or develop the evidence in this case. I agree with you again, Julie, as always, that I'm surprised she has not been arrested for child endangerment, just for the fact that the Melodee wasn't in school for so long. And I would think personally they would have more leverage with an incarcerated person than they would with somebody, but they may have reasons to want to follow her whereabouts and keep her under surveillance. But I thought it was unusual that they don't have her in custody. I also think it's unusual that they took her away from the scene for so long. I don't know, Jennifer may shed some light on that, but I would think that's a detention. Usually the search warrant is for property, not a person, and for her to be escorted off the scene like that for several hours is unusual.
Let's talk about that. I'm so glad to hear you say that, Lieutenant. I thought that was weird as well. They just said we took her to an undisclosed location. Look, if they're searching the house and they don't have a warrant for her, not that they couldn't get one, as we were talking about, you know, they just want to search it, why not let her stay there? Jen, would you weigh in on that, please?
Yes, I agree with the lieutenant. First of all, it is very unusual when you serve a search warrant that the party is escorted off and leaves. And remember, this search took many, many hours. I think the FBI is utilizing a technique of honey versus vinegar. In other words, with this mother, they realize how important a witness she is, and they are going to try to glean information they can from her, even if it's unwitting information she's providing, by being around her, establishing rapport, and hoping she slips and provides information.
Oh, that's really helpful, Jen. Thank you. I want to play a clip for both of you. This is Melodee's half-sister. She has a half-sister who's a good bit older than her, and she goes and she approaches Melodee's mom at the house begging for answers. Her name is Karina Meza. Let's take a look at this together.
Ashley, it's Karina. I just want to see if you're okay. If Melodee's okay, how you guys are doing. Do you have the time to speak with me?
And watch here. Let's keep watching the video. Look what she does. She's going to shut the door right in Karina's face and not answer any questions. Lieutenant Gould, I want to lean into the last point you made about leverage with this woman and how we're in agreement that if she was locked up, there may be some more leverage than right now where she's still got her freedom. Tell me, what, if anything, can you do at this point with her if you're law enforcement?
Yeah, just kind of keep pressure on her. Obviously, they can't yet interrogate her or interview her, I should say. So they just have to keep pressure on her. As I said earlier, I think having her incarcerated or in detention would give them more leverage. You know, good interviewers, good interrogators can really get a lot of information when somebody's isolated from their community. But I think that the FBI has their rationale. Regarding the use of the dogs, once there's a location that she was last seen, and I know that rental car place was one of them, that's when dogs would become very instrumental in trying to locate her whereabouts. Did she get back into a car? They could track her movements very well. But it's probably a little premature. I think there'll be more evidence of her exact location as days go by, and then canines would definitely be used in missing persons.
That's really helpful to know. Lieutenant, thank you for that. Jen Coffinduffer, let me go back to you, please. This is upsetting to think about, but this is just the reality. The likelihood that Melodee is still alive. What do you say, please?
Well, this case reminds me, it really mirrors the Catherine Hoggle case. I don't know if you remember this case. It was from 2014, where her mother basically did exactly what's happening here. Her children were missing, couldn't be found. The mother didn't cooperate. She had a lot of mental health issues. Ultimately, finally, just this year, she was charged with murdering the two children who have still never been found. She's still not cooperating and is in and out of mental institutions. And I think the mental issue with her mother is one of the other reasons they have not arrested her yet. They could throw her in dependency court and make a judge make her testify, and they're not even doing that.
Ooh, that's an excellent point. Jen, thank you for that. Lieutenant Gould, I'd love to bounce a theory of mine off of you, please. This is not something we have information on, so I want to be very clear. But this is just where my mind went when I heard that she was driven to Nebraska. I said it on the show last week and want to resurrect the point with you. I fear that this could be a trafficking situation. And why I say that is if mom wanted to commit a homicide, why not do it at home? Why take the time to rent a car, spend that money, drive her child to Nebraska? What's in Nebraska? Who's going there? Why? There must have been some reason. And I'm wondering if her child could have been sold. Your thoughts on that, please, Lieutenant?
Yeah. Well, frankly, Julie, that's just such a disturbing thought that I didn't actually think of it that way, because it's just it's incomprehensible that a mother would do that to her 9-year-old child. But yeah, there is going to be evidence found. There was a reason they rented the car. This is not looking good at all. I mean, the child had that photograph is 2 years old. There's so many unusual aspects of this. But things are not looking good. But I do think it's going to be resolved. She will be arrested, just a matter of time. And hopefully she'll give us some more insight into where Melodee is or her location.
I sure hope so. I sure hope so. Boy, Lieutenant Mike Gould, Special Agent Jennifer Coffinduffer, we could talk to you both all day about this. We'll leave it here for now and report any breaking news with Melodee Buzzard. Thank you both for your expertise this morning.